Hellbound Season 2 answered a few questions but introduced many other mysteries about the angels, the decrees, and the future of the world. After 3 years of waiting, Hellbound finally returned with a second season. While the show included yet another time skip, it continued to follow the storyline set up in Hellbound Season 1. This includes the return of seong-jae, whose resurrection was shown at the end of the first season. Jong Jin-soo returned for Hellbound Season 2 as well, although the character was recast. Jin-soo's resurrection was one of many problems Sodo had to deal with amidst the war between the New Truth and Arrowhead followers. The government was also a major player in Season 2 in the form of Secretary Lee. The Netflix K-drama focused on the social and political aspects of what was happening in the world, meaning that a lot of questions about the angels and the demonstrations remain unsolved. Is Jin-soo an executor now? Jin-soo transformed into a monster at the end. Hellbound Season 2's finale saw Jin-soo's body slowly transforming into that of a giant creature that resembles the executors. Jin-soo was having visions and seeing executors from the moment he was resurrected, which he assumed was happening to seong-jae as well since she had also been brought back to life. However, whereas seong-jae never forgot who she was and had peaceful time in hell, Jin-soo was in pain and suffering the whole time. The former chairman of New Truth had several visions in which he watched key moments of his life from the perspective of other people. seong-jae told Jin-soo he was a coward, which is why he was so afraid of facing his inner demons and could barely remember who he was after being resurrected. It can be assumed that this is the reason Jin-soo had so many visions and eventually transformed into a creature, whereas seong-jae slowly regained all of her memories and knew she had to reunite with her children. If Jin-soo is indeed an executor now, it can be theorized that all executors we saw on Hellbound were once humans. What are the angels in Hellbound exactly? Hellbound still hasn't explained its greatest mystery. 2 seasons in, Hellbound still hasn't explained what the angels are and where they come from. It is also unclear what hell is on the show. The religion Jin-soo created led to the perception that the angels were sentencing people to hell because they were sinners who could not be forgiven. However, it has been since established that Jin-soo only created this doctrine to cope with the fact he had been sentenced to hell when he was still a child. Likewise, the baby's decree all but confirmed that the angels weren't punishing sinners. Therefore, all cards are still on the table for what the angels are and what their purpose is. Not even a sci-fi explanation involving different universes can be ruled out, especially because the horror K-drama constantly makes a point about how people come up with different interpretations for something they cannot explain. Of course, the angels may be indeed a supernatural phenomenon that cannot be explained in any way. Hellbound's story isn't really about the angels and the decrees but rather about how the world reacts to them, what really happens to the people sent to hell. Jin-soo and seong-jae experience different things. The demonstrations have always been the most gruesome scenes in Hellbound, often including a lot of violence and screams before the executors finally burn their target alive. We can assume that those people actually die and were not just sent to another universe given that we actually see their bodies burn, but it's unclear what happens after that. The angels are sentencing people to hell, but we don't know if this hell is supposed to match that of any religion or if it's a different thing entirely.